You talk a lot about, well, at least on your YouTube channel, a lot of people are wanting to know how to manifest their ex-back or a specific person. So when it comes to personal development, we are taught that we are the creator of our lives. But at the same time, when it comes to manifesting a specific person, how does it relate to like our free will? Because we want to manifest this person, but the other person has their free will. Can you speak a little bit about that? Because I feel like there's contradictory.
The biggest energy will always win. So if I say, Amy, let's go for dinner. So do you get a say in it? Of course you get a say. But who is more manipulative with the energy will win.
Welcome back to my channel. This is Amy Lin. And today we have a special guest. He is a well-known thought leader in the personal development space. Also in the manifestation world, especially when it comes to law of attraction. Can you guess? He also has 1.9 million subscribers on YouTube. Let's welcome Master Sri Akarshana. Namo Himalaya.
Namo Himalaya. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Master. So you guys are in for a treat because I have a list of questions when it comes to manifesting that I'm gonna ask Master to get you guys the answers. So let's get into it.
Okay.
So I know law of attraction, a lot of people are well known of the law of attraction, but there's actually, you mentioned there's a more powerful law, it's called the law of assumption, which is coined by Neville Goddard. That suggests when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you become it, you attract it. But I feel like there's a paradox because how do you assume your reality, act as if, but at the same time, let go of the expectation of the need to happen? Can you explain a little bit about that?
I think a mantra that works very well with that, actually, Amy, is when we say, universe, I'm open for everything. I feel I have it already. Yet at the same time, if I don't receive anything at all, I'm just grateful for everything that I have. I think this is probably a daily mantra that I use, even till today. It's powerful because you're telling the universe you're ready to receive. You're telling the universe that you feel like you have it, and you are creating that feeling for yourself. Yet at the same time, you're telling the universe, which is kind of like you're telling yourself and reminding yourself, hey, actually, I'm grateful for everything that I have. So you immediately surrender to the outcome.
Okay, so the follow-up question to that is, so how do people maintain the feeling of assuming they have it, but the outside physical world may contradict, and especially with the naysayers?
It's a constant brainwashing. I don't think there's any other way to go about doing it. First of all, we need to understand that it's to do with our 5 sensories. So our sensories are what triggers our thoughts. When we see something, we think about it. When we hear something, we think about it. When we feel something, we think about it. So if you can create these triggers in your environment, then it's going to help you. So let's say, for example, if I've got something that's gold here, it will make me feel a little bit more abundant because we all know that gold has that idea. Whether it's real gold or not real gold, that's besides the point. It makes me feel more abundant. There's ways to do it. There's ways to manufacture that feeling because, this table can look very rich or expensive, but it doesn't have to be expensive. So how can we clear our space, make it look more abundant, make it feel more pleasant? Then we feel different. So we can manufacture that, what we see every single day, what we hear every single day, what we're listening to. Are we listening to everyday news? Or are we listening to millionaires and billionaires speaking every single day, having conversations, which is very widely accessible now with so many podcast shows and everything. So it's easy for us to get into that type of environment. When you manufacture that environment, then it's creating a lot of triggers and making us feel a little bit better about our surroundings.
Okay. So at the same time, how do we remove our attention from what's not working? The manifestation hasn't come yet.
I don't tend to focus too much on that. I think a lot of people, they start working on, reprogramming the subconscious mind and getting rid of, childhood traumas and all that, which is useful. You can do all that cognitive reframing, but one thing, like, I always think back to how I got to where I got to in the first place, and it wasn't because of consciously knowing law of attraction. I mean, consciously knowing law of attraction helped, because then from that moment on, everything sped up. But before that, I didn't know about law of attraction. I just knew that I had fears, I had challenges, and I chose to keep diverting my focus onto what I wanted to believe in. I think we all have doubts and fears. We can try and find the root of it. Everyone's searching and searching and searching. Oh, I find one root. And then the more you find, right? You start finding more and more problems with yourself.
Right.
I've got this blockage and that blockage, and because of this, because of childhood, because of mom, because of dad.
Right.
And it becomes more and more. But instead of doing that, I think it's just about, hey, darkness is there, light is there. Where are you going to look today? I'm going to keep looking at the light. Darkness will try to find your attention again. It's going to play tricks. It's going to come up. And then where am I going to look? Am I going to attend to it? Because energy loves attention. If I give it attention, it's going to become bigger. Or I decide to keep looking up there. And that's the thing that I've used for many years, just keep looking up.
Okay, so it's a fine line. It's a balance between, because I feel like a lot of people, especially when they get into digging and healing, they get into more of the dark side, and then the more they dig, the more that limit themselves. Right?
Yeah, I think I mean, I'm not saying healing is not good. Obviously, we teach healing as well. I'm not saying that reframing or reprogramming the mind is not good. Obviously, it's good. For those who have access to that and you can use the tools to do it. But sometimes, rather than trying to always find where the problem is it because of my past life karma? Is it because of this? Is it because of that?
Right.
Hey, just look towards the light. I find that the easiest way.
Okay. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. So
Yeah. It's just like some people, they can talk about problems for many hours.
Right.
But it's not that my life doesn't have problems, but I don't see it that much just because I've trained my brain to, when there's a problem, I think, what's the solution? Some people they can run into the room and say, there's a big problem. I'm like, what's the solution? And then what do they need to answer? They need to quickly find me a solution. If I don't say what's the solution, guess what? They'll tell me why the problem happened. It shouldn't have happened.
Right.
It didn't happen last time, and then we'll be entertaining the problem.
Okay, so refocus the attention on what is working, on the solution, rather than digging and what's not working.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
and we become better at it. The more at first it's hard,
Right.
but the more we train ourselves to look up, we'll get good at looking up.
Okay, got it. Thank you for that. Second question is, you talk a lot about, well, at least on your YouTube channel, a lot of people are wanting to know how to manifest their ex-back or a specific person. So when it comes to personal development, we are taught that we are the creator of our lives. But at the same time, when it comes to manifesting a specific person, how does it relate to like our free will? Because we want to manifest this person, but the other person has their free will. Can you speak a little bit about that? Because I feel like there's contradictory.
The biggest energy will always win. So if I say, Amy, let's go for dinner. So do you get a say in it? Of course you get a say. But who is more manipulative with the energy will win. And I'm not using manipulation as a negative coin, but just everything is manipulation. When we communicate, we're manipulating, When a parent wants a child to do their homework, they're manipulating. And so who will win? Will the child get their own way and not do their homework? Or will the parent get their way and the child will do the homework? Well, depends who's stronger. Some children, they're very intense. No! Then they will not do the homework. So manifestation is the same. Except we're not talking about so much, when people are talking about manifestation, they're not talking about the physical action or the physical speech of it. They're talking about energetically. So energetically, do I really believe that I will be able to manifest this person? And my belief versus their belief. My vibration is bigger or their vibration is bigger. Whoever's vibration is bigger will manipulate the other energy and it'll become yours.
So in a sense, then the other person doesn't really have free will because it can be influenced.
Everybody's free will is dependent on how strong they are. Like, we can say, somebody can say, I'm a free spirit. I'm like, okay, go out, walk around naked in the streets, and you'll be afraid of the police, you're getting arrested, whatever. So, you're not, do you have free will? You have free will, but there are governing bodies that are stronger than you. And if they're stronger than you and they have more authority, they get their say. You still don't have free will. So we don't, we only have free will within a particular boundary of our power. If you rise into more power, then you have more free will.
I see. Okay. So when it comes to relationship, though, is it ethical to manifest a particular person?
Well, ethical and non-ethical depends on your intent also. I mean, is my intent good when I want to manifest this person? Is my intent for them good as well? Do I want the best for them? Do they have something great now and I can't give anything better? And I still try to manipulate it. If that's the case, then I've made their life worse. That's my karma. That adds on to my negative karma. So when we're using manifestation powers, especially when it's to do with other people, we have to be very conscious, Think about the cause and the effect.
Right. Okay. So the intent has to be for the person, not just for your own selfish reason. That's what you're saying.
Yes. That's the ethics, yes.
Okay, got it. And then also you talk about co-creating with the universe. So I'm just seeing a lot of confusion or paradox here when, okay, so we're co-creating with the universe, but at the same time, we create our realities. So it just piggyback onto that previous question about the free will. So when is it the time when we should continue to focus on our goals? And I know sometimes that's driven from ego versus when should we just surrender and then allow universe to guide us to where we want to go?
That's a deep question because it depends on what part of the journey you're on. So if you are, so the first part where most people are at in this world is they're in the to me phase. Everything is happening to me. That's why a lot of people say, why does this happen to me? The second phase, which you are mentioning, is about, no, we create our life. Right? So we're saying universe is happening with me, or universe is, I'm manifesting alongside universe. That's the with me. So I am working with the universe to manifest what I want. That's that second phase.
Right.
If we're in the second phase, then yes, we should focus on our goals. Then if we come to a high level of consciousness, which then maybe at times when we feel like, no, I have everything I want. I don't need anything else. Once one manifests everything they want, what's next? They think, what's my purpose in life? I have everything already. That's where connection with the universe, connection with God starts coming in. To the third phase, things happening through me. So things happening through me is saying universe is manifesting through me. Like, I don't need to think about what I want in life. I don't need to think about my goals. I feel what the universe wants through me, wants to manifest through me. Intuitively, I receive these downloads, and I trust in that instinct, in that feeling, and I become the best vessel to allow these things to happen. That's total surrender, because that's saying that I'm not choosing my partner, my girlfriend, my wife. I'm not choosing my YouTube channel topic. And right now it's happening with my YouTube channel. I talk about manifestation. It's not reaching many people anymore. 2-3 years ago, it was reaching millions of people. Now, it's whenever I talk about full moon, new moon astrology, it's reaching out to many people. It's not giving me a choice. If I'm saying, I want, then I'll continue wanting to teach manifestation. But if I just surrender, I'm saying, okay, it seems to be just happening that way. Path of least resistance. That must be what the universe wants from me. So I will just do as it's planning. So my content moving forward will just be astrology on that channel.
But I wish the stages are easier to tell the difference, because you're saying, okay, depending on where you're at. So let's just say that once I have everything, then I can surrender and let God work through me. But what if I'm working on going after my desires at the same time?
Then, then you should be very focused on manifesting what you want. Yeah, but where does the surrender happen? Surrender happens in, again, it's about path of most resistance, path of least resistance. But it depends how fixated we are on the thing we want.
Right.
You know?
It depends on the ego, right?
If you're very stubborn and you're saying, no, it has to be this way, and universe just keeps showing you a different card, then it's your problem there. Slowly, one day, maybe you'll realize that I shouldn't be. It's tiring.
Okay. So what you're saying is have a goal, go after your goal, but be aware of what universe is showing you. Maybe universe is showing a sign that's, hey, go this way.
The universe is always showing a sign. But it depends if we're surrendered enough to accept it.
Right, and I think this is where it's confusing, because how do I know that I need, because persistence is a virtue, actually, in persisting on getting what you want. But sometimes, when do you know how to persist? When do you know how to let go and surrender to God's plan?
I think when you've tried everything that, you've tried everything. I think we've all experienced in life before where we give 100% and it happens beautifully. We've had another time where we give 100% and then it's not happening. We don't know why. We feel like we're continuously fighting, right? And like punching the wall. And so through many times of doing that, you will start realizing what is resistance from the universe. You know? But we cannot, I think it's very important what you're stating is because it's very important that we don't become lazy about manifestation. Some people will say, oh, maybe it's not divine timing, so I should stop trying.
Right.
So it's a very important point. But we need to ask ourselves a question, you know, are we a hardworking person? Do we usually give it our all? And based on our past, when we've gave it our all, have we achieved things before? And if the answer is yes, okay, remember how you gave it your all. Now, apply in every situation. Are you getting results? And if the results are not happening when you're giving it your all, then maybe start looking at the signs.
Okay. Okay. So do take the action, but becoming aware if it's you're putting the force, but you're not getting the results. Maybe the universe is telling you, try a different way, try a different approach. That's what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Got it. When it comes, just to add up a little bit on that, is how do you know your goals are what God has planned for you, like your dharma, your purpose?
Is it doing good in the world? If it's doing good, then you are doing God. There is nothing between good and God. So, if you're in service, if you're giving with love, if you're giving compassion, if you're trying to help people, trying to help humanity, it's definitely the path. You can never go wrong. Nobody's ever regretted their life because they did too much good. Nobody. You can't go wrong. You'll never regret. You'll never walk the wrong path. Keep following what is good for humanity, for the people, for the universe, for everything, serve wherever we can. And that will open up the doors. More and more opportunities will come, and it'll become more and more clear what our Dharma is.
Okay. So take the action, and then again, universe will show you a sign.
Yeah,
Along
the
way.
more action we take. I mean, action is one part of it, but equipping ourselves for better action is another part. The more we become capable, we need to have the capacity. If we have a bigger capacity, we will become the chosen ones. Universe will give us more signs. God will give us more actions, more purpose, more things to do, because it knows that we're capable. If we're a lazy person that doesn't like to move, then the universe can't give you anything, because you can't
Right.
accomplish small tasks. Why would they give you bigger tasks?
Right. And when you're giving the plan, the goal, then universe will also give you the resources that you need along the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. The last question I have is, so I read the book from David Hopkins. His book is called Power versus Force. So in the book, he talked about the map of consciousness, which is the emotional frequency. And desire is actually considered one of the lower frequencies on the chart. But when it comes to Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill, when he talked about the 13 success principles, desire is actually the number one principle. So it feels like, again, it's very contradicting when it comes to desire, using your desire to manifest what you want. So can you speak a little bit about that?
I think, again, it's semantics, because we're talking about different understandings of the word desire in a different context. If we say one's selfish desire, then you're including ego and everything that will probably against manifestation. If I talk about desire, then I'm saying I have a desire to impact billion lives in the world. But that desire is to fulfill something that's beyond me. So, like, I don't need it for myself. So they both use the word desire. So it depends what context it's in.
I see. That's why it's a bit confusing, because the words are the same. So then people's like, okay, so is it bad to have desire? Especially, right? You said that the Buddha says desire is the suffering, right? But it's only because we're attached to the desire. But if we're not attached, it's not actually.
I think the easiest way to distinguish it is probably talking about human desire or spiritual desire.
Can you speak about that? What's the difference?
So, well, human desire is based on human needs. We have 6 basic human needs: the need for certainty, variety, growth, love and connection, significance and contribution. So we have these natural needs, human needs. So is our desire to try and fulfill one of those needs for ourselves? That's a human need. So that's a human desire. Then we should surrender the human desires, because we should not, if we're not desiring something because of our own human selfish reasons, then that's good. Spiritual is beyond. Spiritual is abundance. Spiritual is everything. Spiritual is universe, is oneness. So spiritual desire is something that feeds my soul. You can see it. You can't see what's feeding. You can see what's feeding my human desire. You will see. You will see my car, you'll see my
physical.
house, you'll see the things. What's feeding my spiritual, you won't see. You'll just see a very happy person. But you don't know exactly what it's feeding, but it's feeding something that's beyond ourselves. That's spiritual.
Okay, but based on what you said earlier, that in stages, so once we're fulfilled the physical desire, for example, then we're able to go into the spiritual desire and make an impact, right?
That's the natural progression.
Right, but it doesn't always happen like
But it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, some people, they can be very spiritual from the get-go, you know. But the natural progression is that people usually get everything for themselves, realize that they're still not happy. They seek for more. What is our purpose? And they go on a spiritual journey, and they come to different realizations.
Right. So there's no set, like it has to be this way, or.
No, there is not. I think it depends on each individual. It's different.
Okay. And how do we fulfill both spiritual desires and also physical desires as a physical being in this 3D world?
Well, if we are connected enough and we just work on the more conscious routes, we just work on fulfilling something that's beyond ourselves, the universe will fulfill everything in your physical realm too. It's like that's the reward you get. That's the pay you get. That's the incentive you get, and it's not required for you to have a desire towards that. Let's say when I ventured into speaking, I didn't do it for money because I was making better money doing other things. In fact, my first 2 years of speaking, I wasn't making anywhere near what I was making before. But I would not do my old job or business because it didn't satisfy my soul. Speaking, coaching, helping people satisfied my soul. So I focused all my energy towards that. And I realized the more that I'm doing more for people or humanity, somehow, some way, money finds us. Materials find us, wealth finds us. It just comes. It's effortless. We don't need a desire for it. You know? And I have this knowing now that I can't remember the last time that I had a thought which was, I need to make more money. But over the years I've realized that, you know, year on year end, I'm very blessed to be able to see that, there does seem to be more money in the accounts all the time, and I can afford more luxuries, but without the desire for luxury.
It was a byproduct of the spiritual impact that you made. That's just byproduct of more money.
I'm not because I'm not an accounts person. I don't enjoy looking at spreadsheets and things like that. I probably look at, from our CFO, I probably know about it once every 2 years or something. And each time I look at it, I'm just amazed. I'm just like, wow, thank you. And I just get back to work.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, it's because you had some minimum foundation, financial foundation. Like you were not in a survival mode, right? But for the people that are maybe in the survival mode, they don't even have their basic needs met. It's hard for them to think about others.
That's right. So they need that knowledge around money.
Yeah.
The basic knowledge they need, the foundation they need. Once they have it, then they can decide to manage it moving forward as well, even if they become more and more conscious and spiritual. Or they could be someone like me who doesn't want to manage it at all and find somebody who knows how to manage it and just get them to do it.
Good. Hire someone else. Perfect. Those are all the questions.
Wonderful questions.
Thank you.
We went
Thank
deep.
you. Yes, I put in some thought into definitely get to pick your brain. So thank you for your time, Master.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you. There you have it. I hope you guys learned something. Put down in the comment below what's your biggest takeaway. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights on manifestations. Thank you and see you next time. Thank you. I don't know how long that was. I don't know. 28. Oh, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay.
That's good.
Thank you.
She's good at it. You're good at this. You should look at doing some interview show actually.
Look at it.
You should start interviewing people.
Interview. Yeah, but
You're a good host.
Thank you. But I don't have all this, and I'm like, the technical part, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, thank you.